Now, here's a thought. This is one of the reasons how this page started. This just came into my heart, my head, the random thought of, I was just going over some of my videos about embarrassment and how people deal with that. Now, what you have to understand about embarrassment and continuous embarrassment is it's extremely dangerous, and only depending on someone's predisposition and how they are as a person will you get the different extremes of levels of how someone will act. I kid you not, with the many cases that I have read and studied, many people have done worse because they can't handle embarrassment. Now listen to what I've just said there. Let that sink in. Embarrassment can be so dangerous that it makes people commit a crime because they'd rather hide the embarrassment. That's worse to them than an actual crime against somebody else. Let that sink in. Let that sink in, how weak someone can be and the power of an emotion like embarrassment. And then how much the ego controls how that person deals with it. There are many cases where you look and you think, how did you think that would be less embarrassing than this? What you've just done now, wiping out two people because they can't ever find out that you've been having an affair with, say, a younger person, right? And you've been hiding that, or you've just had an affair behind someone's back and you're a pillar of the community. You're known to have, traits and things about you that no one would ever believe you would do that. You have to remember, behind the embarrassment, it is a lot of concealment. People concealing messed up friggin' little hobbies and behaviors that they have behind closed doors, okay? And if they're things like maybe heinous acts, stuff that you know you shouldn't be doing, stuff that you know is downright, outright pathetic. However, embarrassment. They will not try to do anything about what they're doing. They won't change. They will just up the ante if ever it looks like what they're embarrassed about is going to get exposed. I mean, when you think of the psychology, the psychodynamic thoughts that are going in their head to act on that, you have to be extremely careful, because I've had a few messages about people saying, how do they deal with people who are embarrassed, or they've been around people that are embarrassed in it, and that the person that's embarrassed keeps trying to brush it off on them. That is what embarrassed people do. They seek someone else to go dump it on because they can't handle it. Hey, come on, sometimes when you things happen, but it depends what they're doing. If it's an innocent thing, you have a little giggle, you get a little bit red in the cheeks, and we're done. But if it's a bit more sinister, a bit more macabre, yeah, you will be surprised what lengths people will go to hide that which they don't want people to know about. So just keep that in your head. If you're around somebody that you've noticed can't handle embarrassment on any level, even when it's innocent and honest and there's nothing to be ashamed of, watch their behavior, how they are with that. Some people can't handle it whatsoever, and they will even sometimes seek revenge or anything to get people's thoughts changed. So like they don't want what happened to them being the last thought in your mind. So they'll do something extra big or have someone else do something, so then all eyes are on them. Because it's so embarrassing. It's like you're homing in right in on them and that the whole world can see. These are people who struggle with ego and probably narcissistic tendencies. And all of that's got to be concealed, hidden. They are the worst. People who embarrass easily, there are only one or two kinds. They are the narcissist kind, and they are concealing a lot. And they are also disguising who they are. So that's, so who they are and what they do. They're disguising that. Or you've got someone who's just one of those really shy people. And you know what I mean? They're not really extrovert as it goes. And they don't like attention on them. They're different. But we're not talking about those people, because then they won't make a scene. They just go. Because remember, they're kind of shy. So they don't act out. It's the ones who have a massive problem and kick up a big fuss over the most minute embarrassed. I've seen someone drop a plate once in a restaurant. They couldn't handle it. They up and left. They got up and left like it was, nobody cares. You just dropped a plate. Get over it. It's fine. That is a red flag. That is a red flag, because that's quite normal. You know, the things you want to be embarrassed about is how you treat people. Yeah? You see? But sometimes people aren't bothered by that. What they're bothered by is what they're doing, what they get caught doing. Well, if you're not doing anything untoward, you won't have anything to worry about. You see? But be mindful of people who are always worried and can't handle the most minor of embarrassing things. You know, yes, we fall over or you bump into a lamppost and all the rest of it. But hey, it happens. But it's nothing to be deeply embarrassed about. And this is what I say. People are embarrassed about the wrong things, and then they go and do something worse to hide the embarrassment. I'll never get my head round that. You know, obviously I do, because I understand the psychology of it. But what I can't never get my head round is why the person that you're talking to wants to go off and make it worse rather than go off and make it better. Because the making it better means they have to go internal. And some people find that a complete and utter disaster. They cannot go there. The fear of knowing oneself or what they'll find. Geez, guys, stop being so hard on yourself. What is it you think you're going to find if you go inwards? You know, you've only got to be worried if you're harboring some fucked up shit. But if you're not harboring any messed up stuff, you're good to go. And being embarrassed helps us with our strength and our character. And it helps us deal with harder stuff. Save your energy for real hard shit. Not petty stuff that you don't actually need to be embarrassed about. Take a look around. Nobody really cares. That's one advantage you can be with embarrassment, is humans are so full of shit, nobody cares. You could fall over and people will just walk past you. So what's the big deal? It's internal. It's internal. You can't handle it. How do I know all these things? I was married to a narcissist, and this person they couldn't handle even being told no. Red in the face, you've embarrassed me in front of everybody. No, it's just no. The answer's just no. But a narcissist doesn't like no. And then they've got to be seen in the best light in public. And they're constantly on that embarrassed tip. Because interaction to them is basically non-existent. Remember, they fake it all the way. So they're constantly on guard. And embarrassment is something that they are connected to deeply. Why? Because they're embarrassed of who they deeply are inside. The very person that they conceal. A narcissist is in a lot of internal pain. They hate themselves, remember? And embarrassment is what they are connected to a lot, because they are constantly like that. They're constantly hiding. And so anything that's not in the what's that I'm looking for? In the little play acting, in their narrative, if any of that gets upset straight away, don't like it. Being faced with reality, being faced with home truths, they can't handle it. People who get easily embarrassed, you need to be mindful of. Because if they're embarrassed about something that's like this, God knows what they'd do if it was anything like this. So, yeah, we're going to talk more about embarrassment and how to deal with that. Because truly, really, it comes from how people make other people feel. See, because again, people are just fucks. Why do you always have to lean to being nasty when you could just naturally go over to being nice? This is the problem, because people can't wait to ha on people. That shit's got to stop. Anyhow, I hope this has been handy, and always watch out for someone that doesn't like embarrassment, because they'll have a right old temper tantrum as well. So, just things to be mindful of, my darlings. I hope that's been insightful for you. If it has, please do like and subscribe. And for those of you that already do, I love you, you're gorgeous, and ja love.